Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Welcome. If this is your first time of stopping by, I say welcome. Please consider subscribing to my channel, join the growing family. To my old subscribers, I say thank you for all your support. And for this tutorial will be learning how to cut and stitch and sew this jumpsuit for our children, for our princesses. If it's something that you are interested in, please watch to the end, and I will see you at the end of the video. So for this style, I'll be cutting the upper bodice, the bodice first, and my fabric is folded into four because I'm going to cut the front and the back one together. So I'm going to mark out the label at the Ankara fabric. Meanwhile, I'm using an Ankara fabric, so I'm going to mark that out, and then I inserted my half length, which is 11 inches plus 1 inch allowance for the joining of the shoulder and joining of the pants down. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take my measurements, and I'm starting with from the center front where you see where my tape started. That's where I'm going to start, the center front. For the neckline, I mark 3 inches length and then 2.5 inches width, and I'm going to connect the line and then make a curve to give it a round neck. The next thing I'm going to do is to insert my shoulder measurement, which is 12 inches divided by 2, which is 6, and then that same 6 inches is what I'm going to use to go down for my armhole depth, and then that's the line I'm marking now. Then on that armhole line is where I'm going to insert my bust measurement, which is 24 divided by 4, then plus 1.5 inches allowance. And then I also inserted my waist. For children, I don't usually put that because of the way their body is. Then I made a curve for my armhole, armhole curve. Then for the back neckline, I'm going to go down by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to cut this one out first before cutting the front one. So that's why I had to mark it. Then I went down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and that's all for the bodies. And I hope you're enjoying this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel. Please do not leave today without subscribing. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the back one out first before then I will separate the front and the back bodies before cutting the front one. So for the trouser, what I'm measuring, I'm trying to make sure that what I folded is enough for my upper lap measurements, my crotch measurements plus half inch allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and mark my length. Then I added about 3 inches allowance, but you can add as much as you can. Remember that the trouser is going to go up by 3 inches because it's a jumpsuit, by 3 inches to 4 inches depending on how loose you want it to be. Then I marked my my crotch measurement, then my knee measurement, and I then connected the line. And I'm going to go ahead and start inserting my measurement. Then I inserted for this front one, I'm going to just add half inch allowance for joining. Then for this place, I'm going to insert first my upper lap measurement divided by 2. That's the upper lap is very close to the hip. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Then I inserted my hip measurement. The hip measurement is the first line where I'm just trying to rule out now, and then the second one is the crotch measurement where I'm going to connect the curve to. Then I'm going to measure that place, the crotch line. Whatever I have, I'm going to divide it into 2 and then make a line all the way from up to down. That's where I'm going to be inserting my measurement from. Okay, the reason for this is to eliminate that when sometimes when you see some trousers, it's like it's pulling to the front. This is how to eliminate it. So all my measurement is going to be at the center of this line. That's for instance, if I have 8 inches to mark at any line, maybe the waist, the knee, or the ankle, I'm going to divide the 8 into 4, mark one to the right side of the line, and then mark the other 4 to the other side of the line. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. And for this trouser, we are not is not going to be a fitted one. That's why it's big, kind of big at down part. And then after marking my measurements, I connected all the lines, and that's it for the marking of the front one. And all measurements I use here will be in the description box. So if you need any of it, please check the description box for the measurements. Then for the back part, I also folded my fabric into two. I'm making sure that whatever I have there is enough for 2.5 inches or 3 inches extra. Then I marked my crotch measure. I connected the line, and then from there I'm going to mark 2.5 inches all around, from the crotch to the waist to the knee to the wherever the trouser or pants stops. I'm going to mark 2.5 inches all round for joining and for allowance and every other thing. This is where I have my allowance in. So after cutting the back one, the next thing we are going to do is to go into the sewing tutorial. And for the sewing part of it, I'm going to start off from the bodice as well. You can start wherever you want to. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this neckline. I said to cut out the back and the front using the same fabric. If you have a lining, you can use the lining to do this. So I'm going to turn the neckline and the armhole. Then after turning, the next thing I'm going to do is to notch the line. Remember that while notching, make sure that you do not cut through the thread, through the stitching that you made earlier. So I'm going to notch the neckline and the armhole. Then I went ahead to turn this inside out, lay it flat, and also ironed it flat to help me. This will help me to manage the fabric well. So this is it after ironing the front and the back measurement, the back and the front bodies. I'm going to go ahead and place this together, front facing front, and then stitch down the shoulders. And this is it after stitching them down. The next thing I'm going to do is to arrange the bodies together to take out my zipper allowance, that just like I'm doing in the video now. Then after taking the zipper allowance out with my measurements, I'm going to stitch down the two sides with my actual measurement. So the next thing I'm going to do is to join the two crotch together. That's the front crotch together and then the back crotch together, separate. So but for the back crotch, since my zip is going to extend to that place, I'm going to just hold it with pin and then stitch the remaining down part of it. That the stitching is not going to start from the waist, just a little bit down from the waist. Then I'm going to pin the remaining one down. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to open up the two sides together, place the front on the back one, and then stitch the side I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. And why stitching it, you find out that the front one is smaller than the back one. That's because all the allowances we added is there. That's why it's bigger. And when you look at trousers, most time, the front is smaller than the waist. That's the stitch line. The seam line is coming towards the front part of it. That's the reason why it's like that. The allowance are all the allowances, most of them are at the back side. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to fold the down part of this the pants. If you like, you can leave this at the end of your stitching, but I decided to fold my own now. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to arrange the crotch line together, making sure it meets each other. Then I'm going to pin this down, and then from there stitch this side and then stitch to the other side, so that this will make me to make sure that the lines are in the same together. So this is it after stitching the down, the down, and also the middle part of the trouser. I'm done stitching this down. So the next thing I'm going to do is to open up the zipper allowance, then place it open, and then attach the bodice. Okay, notch the center bodice. Then where I notched is where I'm going to place that center place at the center front. I'm notching the center front of the body. I'm going to place it at the center front. We'll use my pin to hold it together. Then I'm going to go ahead to my machine and then stitch this all the way to where it ended, and then attach my zip. And that's all for this style. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. Give me a thumbs up, please. Share my videos to family and friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.